It has been a gruesome, grueling road to get here, but the Brooklyn Nets win their first game of the season. They are no longer the only winless team in the NBA, and things are looking up. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Brooklyn Boys Show. I am your host, Josh Williver. Happy as ever to see my Brooklyn Nets get the first win of the 2025-2026 campaign. We will break down everything you need to know about the Nets win in Indiana against the Pacers. A long, hard-fought game with a lot of twists and turns on both sides. We'll break down everything you need to know from the game, everything that we learned. Make sure you smash that like button. Hit subscribe as it helps this channel grow more than you could imagine. Couple shy of 500. We are so close. Our favorite thing to do is interact with you guys, the community, get questions, comments, thoughts into the chat. We will react to those as the Nets get their opening win of the season. So I imagine there is a lot to be said around Nets world. This team snaps the 7-game losing skid they had to open up this season, coming in to tonight. And boy, did it feel good. I don't care if you are team tank all the way, give the best possible draft pick, and let's get out of this hole come the draft in June. But man, whatever way you look at this, if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, this one feels good. And yes, it is to a weak Indiana team that is missing their star Tyrese Halliburton after he tore his Achilles in the finals. Yes, this is an Indiana team with injuries across the board. I think 8 of their players were out a week ago, so that just goes to show how thin this Indiana lineup is. They had a lot of guys playing that they aren't probably hoping to get minutes at the end of the day. Heck, they did not have their coach, Rick Carlisle, for a good portion of that second half. He got double teched up and ejected from this game. A little bit of spice was happening. You saw a technical foul on a jump ball come in when Zaire Williams poked to fight. So it was a grind. But as Jason will tell you, a win is a win no matter what. Again, appreciate you all tuning in. Like, subscribe, and then immediately over to that chat box. Get those questions, comments, thoughts, reactions. It is a feel-good Wednesday, November 5th. Mark your calendars, baby. The Nets have done it, and I think where I have to start is the Nets do it without Cam Thomas, who got injured in that first half. It was, unfortunately, the left hamstring that he had issues with 3 separate times last year. This is all according to Eric Slater, Nets beat reporter for ClutchPoints.com, reporting. Obviously, he's live at every game, so he would know best. Cam Thomas injured early in the first half. It is that hamstring. And at the end of the day, man, for this Nets team to battle through without their number one scorer on a night where MPJ is coming off of not being able to be with the team in their in their last game against Minnesota due to personal reasons, he and this entire team steps up, rally behind Cam Thomas's absence, elevate the play of this team. They truly did play like a team today. And I think one of the most important parts is this defense stepped up. The defense played well. That's how you know we're partying in Brooklyn. Holding a team to 103 points is not an easy accomplishment across the board in the NBA. Certainly not for this Brooklyn Nets team. So a lot to celebrate tonight. If you are a pro tank person, don't come in this chat talking about I was wishing the Nets would lose this game. That's not what I want to hear today. I just want to feel good, baby. Walking through the school halls tomorrow with a smile. There's not many Nets fans, but those who are will be hearing it from me. It feels good. That's all I can say. All I can say at the end of the day is just from a pure fan perspective, this win feels amazing. Amazing. Putting a smile on my face that I have not had all season long. Finally, don't have to talk about another loss. The fact that this team rallies behind their number one scorer as he goes out in that first half. Who stepped up for him? Of course, that is Michael Porter Jr., baby. And I'll pull up the stat sheet so everyone can take a look on your end, but eyes jump them right to the top there. MPJ, baby. 35 minutes, 32 points, alongside 11 rebounds. Michael Porter Jr., have yourself a day, my friend. One of his better games as a Brooklyn Net, if not his best. He carries this Nets team in scoring, especially in that first half when this team was really searching for answers all around. And I think what I can say is overall, this team did not have to play catch up ball the entire game. They did not have to wait until the fourth quarter started to say, oh, should we start playing competent basketball now? They did not have to wait to dig themselves into a 25-point hole to figure out that they should start scoring the ball. And when your number one scorer is not on the floor, that's not an easy thing to do. This Nets team was in this game. They were competitive the entire time. Let me double check this stat, but the Pacers' largest lead of the night, 8 points. 8 points was Indiana's largest lead of the night. And that is certainly saying something the way this Nets team, you look back, Charlotte to begin the year, they're uncompetitive. Cleveland, they can only turn it up in the fourth quarter. Same thing against Minnesota. Same thing against, a lot of these other solid teams. The Sixers, they were uncompetitive that entire game. This Nets team stayed in it, and a big part of that was the effort all around. So we will certainly be giving props to this coaching staff throughout the night. They played a huge role. How about the Nets bench, man? The Nets bench was en fuego tonight, giving me some 2019 vibes. Tyrese Martin, a couple humongous threes, and his role sort of scaled back. He was in the starting lineup a couple times earlier in the week in a role that, frankly, didn't fit him from a fan perspective, from a team perspective. Scales it back, comes off the bench, is one of the more vital bench pieces in this game tonight. Goes 4 of 7 from downtown, baby. That's the Tyrese Martin I'm used to. Puts up 16 points and is really making some big shots for this Nets team. A guy I didn't have making the roster is making huge shots. That three where he hit the little lane, is it going to go in? And man, that energized the Nets, pushed them through, gave them the gas they needed to get through the tape, finish strong at the finish line. Oh man, fun game all around. Martin, man. If nothing else, you could say it's a great vibe. He has been awesome for this Nets team. And I kind of want to focus on the positives here. Because I could go the Zaire route, I could go the Jalen route. But let's stay with the positives here, ride that train as long as we possibly can. How about Noah Clowney, man? He gets the start in a wonky lineup where Cam Thomas is the only true guard in that starting five, and then he's only able to play 6 minutes on the court before he gets injured. So you are truly looking at a big game from the bench. And then you turn around at the end of the day and say, okay, Noah Clowney, you're going to play a huge role for this team. And he certainly stepped up. I love the way he was attacking the hoop, especially in that second half. He showed you that. He got downhill, got to the rack, scored, and scored with strength is really what I was looking for. Again, he had a slow start to the season. He was not able to pick it up as quickly as he or anyone in the Nets organization was looking for him to. But boy, Noah Clowney has himself a day, baby. Puts in 17 points. Puts it in on 6 of 9 from the field. Free throw percentage also looks pretty clean. This Nets team overall had some free throw issues tonight, and we certainly will discuss a couple of the negatives here. Free throws were an issue. But man, I think the real difference maker, the turnover battle. Nets turn it over just 14 times tonight. That's got to be some kind of season record. Somebody fact check me on that, but 14 turnovers. That is less than 4 a quarter. It's more like 3.5 a quarter. And for this Nets team that is not doing their thing, when it comes to playing good defense, when it comes to keeping the ball in their hands all season long. Turn it around and do it tonight. Smash the like and hit subscribe if you're tuning in live. Hit the question chat if you are tuning in after the fact. It means just as much to hit like and subscribe. Don't forget. You guys are the best. As always, November 5th, Wednesday, your date. The Nets' opening win of the season. Couple more guys to shout out here. Nick Claxton, who has had an awesome couple of games, patrolling the paint, picks up yet another double-double and played well all around. Had a couple nasty swats, a steal, throws in 18 points, 8 of 10 from the field, or rather 8 of 10 from the free throw line is really the separator for me. Because I shouldn't need to tell you what Nick Claxton usually does from the free throw line. 8 of 10, you will 100% take that. And then Terrence Mann, who has certainly grown into understanding his role in the team. Look, the efficiencies aren't going to be good when you look over at that percentage-wise. 6 assists, though. That is the kind of thing we're hoping to see out of Terrence Mann. We don't need you to be a number one scorer. We have those guys in front of you. Know your role and play into it, and Terrence Mann didn't in the Cleveland game. Terrence Mann didn't in the San Antonio game. A lot of these games, man. Man has abandoned his role on this team and tried to become a number one scorer, especially from three. Dude, that's not what we want you to do. Nobody is asking you to do that unless Jordy Fernandez has come up with some magic system that nobody's ever heard of. I don't think that's what we're asking you to do. All right, so understand that role, continue to be an assists merchant, and honestly, that's all we can ask. Couple more guys. Hit the starting five up. Yegor Gioman, an interesting one to highlight because he does not score. He goes 0 for 6 from the field, and it highlights a little bit of a rough patch from him. He has gotten the green light to start getting a little bit more aggressive from absolutely nothing inside the two to actually, a shot or two here or there in an aggressive drive that ultimately led to a foul on a pump fake from the top, and then he used the speed and the aggression to get in the paint, and I love that, but I need more of it. That once and a miss is not going to cut it for you, Yegor Gioman. Tyrese Martin, we mentioned him, and then, yikes, Zaire Williams picks a fight and goes 1 of 8 from the field. Oh, boy. Jalen Wilson with his classic 21 minutes, nothing burger, nothing else. He hits 2 threes, and that's it. Nada tostada across the board for him. So certainly a couple negatives, but the way this team played, they were forcing jump balls in the fourth quarter. They were drawing technical fouls, or Rick Carlisle was getting heated at the refs. That got the Nets some free throws. Excuse me, it is still allergy season, but Nets aggressive and continuing to dominate with the clutch factor in this game. And it is all thanks to Tyrese Martin, who had that big three. Michael Porter Jr. gets an and one goaltending call in the final minutes, and that just about sealed it. Couple of huge, humongous defensive stops on that end of the floor for Brooklyn. Good rebounding, and all around a solid win. Nothing to complain about. It all looks good when you can go out, fly out of Indianapolis, and have that first win of the season in the W column. There's no better feeling in sports than winning any given night. And yes, this is the 1-6 Pacers. Yes, they're injury riddled. But yes, we should still be excited as ever. Smash the like and hit subscribe if you haven't done so yet. We'll get into your questions, comments, thoughts, Those go in the chat immediately. You guys are the best, man. Nets win. Let's celebrate it here. Say what's up to you guys who are tuning in. Probably another 15 minutes on the show, so load up questions, comments, thoughts. We will get to those. Jason, early bird against the worm. Let's go, Nets. And Brooklyn gets their first win. No better feeling. No better feeling. Jonathan's in the building. What's going on, Jonathan? Appreciate you. And your support says the Nets worked for their first win tonight, but the Cam Thomas injury was a huge damper tonight. And with his trade eligibility in December, the Nets shut him down and take what they can get. Look, we're going to have to wait for estimates on what this injury is. Initially, it looked like, just a little tweak. He was still able to hobble back down the court. You're not talking about a guy falling over and needing medical assistance immediately, while he's on the court. Thankfully not, but man, at the end of the day, you hate to see a guy like Cam Thomas go down, and not just because of the trade value, because of injuries being one of the worst parts of sports. So you got to wait and see what the diagnosis is. They probably wait, I would guess, until they get back to Brooklyn. There's no need to rush that, but Nets come home for a Friday NBA Cup game against Detroit in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. So I would guess somewhere between now and tip-off on Friday, we know a better, more sensible timeline on the Cam Thomas issues. But you're right, Jonathan. Can't be truly happy with this win. And then at the end of this, say that Cam Thomas injured doesn't cause at least a little bit of trouble in the back of your mind. As for the trade stuff, shut him down. You let him play as well as he can. That's clearly what the Nets are trying to do. If they were worried about the trade, if they were worried about him being too good for a tanking team, first of all, the 1-7 or 0-7 before tonight's start should have told you all you need to know about how much Cam Thomas has an effect on this team winning basketball games. And at the same time, it just so happens that the only game he plays 6 minutes in is the one where Brooklyn comes out victorious. So I don't think Cam Thomas playing extraordinary minutes in these games is what's holding the Nets back from being in true tanking contention. Again, they can do that as much as they need. Just look up and down that roster, baby. Some players advocated for Clowney to start at the 4 before the season, and I was one of those. And for 2 games, Clowney's confidence is coming back, especially on physicality. Is that legit? That's the key, Jonathan. It's not just that, he's scoring here. We've seen the development in the 3-point ball. We saw it in the preseason. Now can the guy get to the rack? Because he plays the game of basketball, whether or not he realizes his 6'9" frame is built for it or not, like he is a center. That's true. He wants to be a shooting big in this league. So to shy away from getting downhill, from getting down low, from putting a body on guys that are bigger than you, drawing contact, finishing through it, it's not feasible for a career in the league. Clowney, props to him, growing into a new player these last couple of games. I think you continue to start him while he's hot. Why would you not? I mean, why change anything if you're Jordy Fernandez? You just got your first win of the season and in one of the only games where you're able to stay competitive. Again, I get it, bad Pacers team, but at the end of the day, what does it say in the win column? It says you grabbed your first win of the season. So yes, I think Noah Clowney continues to ride the high train. I would love to believe it's legit. To be quite honest, we can't tell yet. That is only something that comes with time, but do not worry, Jonathan. Clowney will continue to get his opportunities. I can very well see him starting against a very tough Detroit team Friday night to begin the NBA Cup. But yet, this team can't just start changing things around from the one game they actually look good in. The one game they continue to try to replicate tonight, whether it is Friday, whether it's in the future. Because again, you win. And that's all it comes down to. Jonathan, once more, a huge constant Negative is Jordy's inability to trust his rookies. And he started Terrence Mann at point, which is just ridiculous, as is starting Tyrese. Completely agree. With both of these, will Jordy change? Well, Jonathan, I don't think anytime soon because the Nets optioned 3 rookies down to Long Island for the season opener Friday night. Danny Wolf, Ben Saraf, and Nolan Traore, who, understandably so, the 3 either have not been able to play due to their inability to compete at the level or haven't looked good at the level. So, understandably so. And then Drake Powell is dealing with an injury right now. So you're really only looking at Yegor Gilman, who goes 0 of 6 from the field today. I would love for him to. I would love for the trust to be there. But at the same time, that trust has to be earned. And yes, you take all these rookies to develop them, but at the end of the day, it's an NBA roster, it's an NBA team, it's NBA minutes, it's NBA games. You have to put the best players out on the court you think fit to win this game. Like and subscribe. Continue to support the development of the channel. Can excuse my allergies, but that is where I am at. Jason, shout out MPJ. 32 points in a great game. Amen, brother. A wild ending. Let's go. Peoples Hernandez says MPJ auditioning. Noah is looking different tonight. Very surprised and surprised in a very, very positive way. You absolutely love to see it. Nothing better, baby. Jonathan, Brooklyn Boys, Clax is seriously building up his trade value by utilizing the guards around him and making his play, making development more as well. Can we actually trade Clax if he keeps this up? Absolutely. Again, anyone and everyone, maybe even a rookie, somehow, some way, is up to trade. And I don't think they're going to do a rookie. It just doesn't make any sense. But anybody else on this roster is tradable. There's not a single guy who doesn't have a price tag on this roster. And as much as we know, Sean Marks loves himself a good load of Nick Claxton. Be realistic. This team stinks. This team ain't going anywhere. So, for the benefit is the word I'm looking for of the team, anything is possible. Yes, Nick Claxton should 1,000% be a trade candidate. And I told you guys preseason, if you've been in the chat for a month plus now, you know that I have been begging this fan base to give Nick Claxton a second chance. Let him return to that 2022-2023 form, and that he has done through 8 games. Claxton made, taking advantage of the opportunity he has with this Nets organization right now. And it is looking good on his resume, baby. Build up that trade value. Continue to let it grow because who knows, man? There could certainly be teams who come calling, come deadline time, looking for a solid defensive center to bolster up their unit, looking to make a deep playoff push, looking to overall enhance that roster depth, and Nick Claxton could be the perfect price. Ideally, you look for a first-round pick. Maybe a player in a second is more realistic for Clax, but we'll continue to see. I'm sure the buzz will pick up at the deadline, but right now, there's not going to be a ton of coverage. People, reporters just trying to settle in on the beginning of this season, and maybe even some kids trying to settle in on the school year, baby. Jonathan once more says, will Cam Thomas likely missing time? Will Jordy finally play the rookies more? Or Tyrese and Terrence Mann at the 1 and 2 holding the rookies back more? Again, there's only one rookie that can play right now. That's Yegor Gilman. 3 are in Long Island. 1's injured. So, unless it is Yegor Gilman, you are talking about a team that cannot afford to put any other rookie on the court. It's just not possible. And Gilman has cooled off a little bit. I mean, it's so tough with Yegor. You got to give him the chance. He's the 8th overall pick, and for good reason. But, man, he's the 8th overall pick. Utilize him like it, right? Like, I feel like this team has had a hard time, and he's had a hard time adjusting They're not using it to his strengths. He needs to be a better passer, needs to know when it's time to pass, needs to know when it's time to drive. And really, if he's physical, if he goes in the lane, opens up so many more opportunities, driving kicks, even outlets running the break for him to rack up those assists to become that premier passer that the Nets took him at 8 to do to facilitate this offense. And to not is to waste a great talent. This Nets team has to figure out a way. Yegor plays into this. I don't know how it happens though, man, because you're right. I cannot continue to watch Tyrese and man, as good of games as they had tonight, play 30 plus minutes a night because this team truly cannot find anyone else to feel number one guard minutes. That's just sad. That's all it is, man. Don't got much more for you there. Smash the like and hit subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Get questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. We'll go for a couple more minutes here on the show. BC pops in. He says, go Lakers. And big win. Appreciate it, BC. Little interconference foe. Shouting at the Nets on the big win at BC. Wemby, Luka, Spurs, and Lakers is about to tip off. They're on prime time. So you let us know, BC. Did the Lakers win? What's the final score? Does Luka ball out again? Does Austin Reeves come back again with another 50-point bomb? 10 interesting stuff happening over there in L.A. BC, you're the best, my friend Jason Spitzberg. They played fundamental basketball tonight. That's why they got the W. Couldn't have said it better myself, man. I've been raving about this team being able to play 4 solid quarters. That's what they did tonight. They kept it close the whole game. There was not a point where they were out of this game. Their largest deficit was 8. It just feels good, Jason. This is what it must feel like to watch solid basketball night in, night out. That's haven't been able to say that since the peak of the Big Three. And man, I don't even want to bring that up here. Nets just got to win. We can't reminisce on the disastrous. They were great, good old days. But hindsight 2020 could not be a bigger disaster. Pig says, hey, Josh W. Stream. Gee, this is Leo. Appreciate it, Pigged. You're the GOAT. Nets win. That's all I gotta say, baby. I'm Josh Wolliver for the Brooklyn Boys Show. This Nets team finally won a game. They improved to 1-7 on the year. Beautifully done. Beautifully coached. Couple clutch buckets. Hell yeah, we're feeling good over in Nets world. For the Brooklyn Boys Show, I'm Josh Wolliver saying have a great night, everybody. Stay safe. See you tomorrow for an NBA Cup preview. Thursday, 8 Eastern. Tune in then. Let's go Nets. Good night, everybody. Stay safe. Woohoo! Nets win.